It is mostly children, not yet aware that we ignore those who are different, who suddenly remember that they could use a new pencil or a ballpoint pen or something else which Leo has to sell.
What do you want, Mom?
Jean, Mrs. Hill just called, and she said that you told Martha that she was to bring part of the refreshments for the party.
Well, sure. All of the kids are supposed to bring something.
Jean, I just can't understand you. Why do you always put off everything till the last minute?
For some reason that Barbara couldn't understand, she never had many friends. Perhaps it would be different for Barbara now, a new town and a new house. Barbara hoped that she would find some new friends. This is too good to be true. A girl, just her age, too. Now Barbara tried to make friends. She was not one bit shy about walking right up to introduce herself. Her neighbor's name was Jane, and she, too, was glad to have a friend that lived right next door. Of course, Barbara's mother was happy to see that she was making friends right away. She wanted Barbara to feel at home here. But after a while, with so much to be done, well, Barbara was old enough to do her share. There would be time for play later.
Barbara?
In a minute.
Barbara!
Oh, I'm coming.
Now, maybe we can see, even if Barbara can't, the reason why she has never been popular with others. Bad manners. Yes, Barbara was rude to her mother. A few days later, Jane did a very thoughtful thing for her new neighbor. She asked Barbara to go with her to a downtown movie. They would ride the bus all by themselves. But something happened at the bus stop. Barbara pushed past those two ladies without even an apology. Didn't she know better? Jane asked herself. Does she act that way all the time? Jane was surprised at Barbara's bad manners, but no one likes to find fault with others, so Jane tried to excuse Barbara since she was new and excited. But it wouldn't work. Other passengers were annoyed. She was too noisy, too loud, and Jane was embarrassed. Especially when the bus driver frowned at both of them. He had always been so friendly to Jane, and she didn't like the feeling that he held her partly to blame for Barbara's bad manners. Jane no longer merely wondered about Barbara, now she knew. Later, in the theater, Barbara was even worse. Running in the aisles is disturbing and dangerous. Jane had another bad surprise. Her guest kept talking all through the picture, ruining it for Jane. And other people, too. Too bad, Jane. It's hardly fair when you try to be nice, and a girl with bad manners spoils it. After the show, it was always a treat to stop for a soda before going home. Today with Barbara, it was a different story. It hadn't taken very long to lose a friend. Just one afternoon of bad manners. The next time Barbara wanted to play with Jane, something seemed to be wrong. Jane was polite and listened to Barbara, but she didn't seem friendly, and she wouldn't come out to play. Barbara was hurt and bewildered. She couldn't understand why Jane had suddenly changed so. And then, through an open window, Barbara overheard something that explained everything.
But after all, Jane, just one time doesn't mean she's rude.
She is, Mother. She pushes people and yells at everyone and runs around like a ninny. I just don't like her, Mother.
All right, dear, I'm not insisting. It's just that she looks like a nice little girl. I suppose she just doesn't understand how important it is to have good manners in public.
There it is, Barbara. The reason that you've never been able to keep your friends. Maybe the truth hurts. But it's lucky you found out, Barbara. Why? Because for all your bad manners, you are an intelligent girl, smart enough to do something about it. Where to start? Well, books are a source of information on good manners. First of all, you have to find out what are good manners. You should know why they are important. Good manners show our consideration for the feelings of other people. We develop good manners by following certain rules. As we use them, they become a part of us, a part of our personality. Let's look at some of the rules of good manners that you need to use to get along with others. Good manners on the street are very important. The sidewalks are for your convenience and for other people too. Make it a rule to share the sidewalk. Being quiet on streets is another way to behave properly, especially if you know that sick people might be disturbed. Where small babies are taking their naps, or men in the neighborhood who work at night and sleep during the day. Throwing paper or anything else in the street is bad manners. All of us should do our best to keep the city clean. Yes, Barbara, knowing the rules of good manners is important. Let's make a list of good manners in public. In public places of entertainment, your good manners help others to enjoy themselves. At a movie, for example, try not to disturb others when you enter. Sit quietly and don't whisper or talk back to the picture, even if you think of something funny. Above all, remember the other people who want to have a good time too. Yes, Barbara, you'll find good manners apply everywhere. At the soda fountain, be sure to wait your turn. In a store, Don't touch merchandise unless you're thinking of buying it. After all, it could get broken or soiled. The grocery store is a good place to be courteous. It never hurts to think of the other person. Another place to be polite, elevators. Elevators require especially good manners. Let others off before you get on, and then, of course, ladies first. Give the operator the number of your floor and move to the back so others can get on. Stand quietly in the elevator and be ready to move aside to let other passengers out when they reach their floor. There, that does it. At least, that's a start. Just a few of the good manners that you need to get along with other people. Let's see now, Barbara. Share the sidewalk. Be quiet and orderly. Don't litter the streets. Fine. Those are good rules of behavior. Bus manners. Don't crowd ahead of others. Talk quietly. Stay in your seat. Good. And at the theater, don't run. Don't push past people. And don't talk or whisper. How about stores and shops? I see. Wait your turn. Don't handle merchandise. Think of others. In public elevators, let people off before you get on. Ladies first. Give your floor promptly. Make room for others. Don't chatter or squirm. Step aside to let others out. Very good indeed, Barbara. You're off to a good start, and if you try, you're on your way to a happier life. You can find other ways to add to your list of good manners by asking questions when you're not sure. Your parents will tell you. You learn by watching the good manners of others. Your teacher will help you too. And your friends. Yes, Barbara, if you correct your past mistakes, you will find that good manners do open the door to friendship. People will help you in every way they can when they know you want to have good manners. People will like you and respect you for your good manners. What's more, you'll like yourself and the way you act a little better day after day.